Hello and welcome to another plot breakdown video. Today I'm going to try and put the plot of Howl's Moving Castle into one of the structures that I'm familiar with based on my memory of the movie Howl's Moving Castle, which, to be honest, I have seen 30 times. So I should remember it well, but we'll find out. If you haven't watched this movie before, maybe don't watch all of this video. So the first plot structure that I like to use is the 3-act 27 chapter structure. I'm not a fan of the 4-act structure, I just feel like too much is going on, but it might fit this movie. Plot embryo I find very character-based, which is sometimes fine if you have a character-driven story. And then save the cat, which I'm the least familiar with, but I'm trying to learn more about it. So this structure's opening scene, before snapshot of the hero, is very similar to just an introduction to our characters. We'll see how it fits into this structure first. So we meet Sophie, young hat maker. She's pretty quiet, and I'd say introverted. I recognize that easily in myself. Inciting incident. She goes to see her sister and gets stopped by 2 soldiers on the way, and we learn that this is wartime. Stopped / harassed by soldiers. Saved by mystery man. Immediate fallout, I guess, would be that he's the mystery man is being chased by, how would you describe them? Blob men. Okay, long-term reaction I think is Witch of the Waste. So we find out that the blob men are chasing the mystery man because of the Witch of the Waste. But Witch of the Waste goes to Sophie's hat shop, curses Sophie, and then Sophie ages. That's the curse, and she's not allowed to talk about it. We do have some rebellion there where she doesn't really believe it, but she kind of quickly gets over that and is like, this is who I am now. I finally match my clothing choices or something like that. So action taken is she leaves. She kind of says she's going to the wastes to find the witch, I think. Consequence to the action is she comes across Howl's Moving Castle. I'm gonna put that in all caps because it's the title. She finds the scarecrow man. That's not what he's called. Turnip head? Turnip head man that's on a stick who's been cursed. And he technically finds Howl's Moving Castle for her. Pressure increasing. Meets Calcifer. I don't know if this is necessarily pressure increasing. Meets Calcifer, a fire demon. Meets, oh my god, I can't think of his name. What's the boy's name? Don't come to me. I don't know what is pressuring about her once she gets in there. Worry they're gonna kick her out, I think. I'm not sure. Plot twist. Mystery man is Howl. Comes home to find older Sophie in his house. Push into new world. I mean, she realizes when she meets the boy that the door to the castle has multiple, how would you say that? Leads to multiple places. I think she's just realizing magic is real. I don't know about exploring new world. Explores the castle. While cleaning it, she tells Howl that she's the new cleaning lady. She figures out that Calcifer is moving the castle. You know what? I just remembered. Pressure increasing. Howl is being summoned by the king to fight in their war. He's technically being summoned as two different sorcerers, but that's fine. That's not important. What happens after she's cleaning? I should know this. I remember they're in a field at one point, relaxing. Getting to know the boy. Oh my god. Marco? I think it's Marco. Is it Marco? I think it's Marco. Reminders of the old world. I know at some point her mom comes for a visit. Oof, I think that happened in Act 1 too, but she comes again, but I don't think that's till like closer to Act 3. Trying to think what happens between her cleaning and stuff and Howl asking her to go to the king on his behalf. Is that the buildup of pressure? Inciting incident. Go to king. Go to king as Howl's mother to say he won't be joining the war. Meet Witch of the Waste again. I think that is a buildup of pressure. We meet Heem, who might be my favorite character. Midpoint inciting incident to find out what's the lady that works for the king? Solomon? Or is that the king? I think it's Solomon. I don't know how to spell Solomon. Solomon? What does she do to the Witch of the Waste? She makes her old. She makes her actual age, but she like takes her power? Takes Witch of the Waste power. Will do the same to Howl. Turning point, no going back to the old world. Well, she knows the Witch of the Waste can't undo her curse at this point. She talks about it on the way to meet the king. Howl saves Sophie. And he doesn't really fight Solomon, but that's what I'm gonna say. But it's not really a fight. Magical fight. Flee together, split up. Maybe part of this is Sophie tries to defend Howl before he shows up, and then Howl saves Sophie, but really she saves him too. Consequence reaction. King attacks Howl's multiple homes. I think there's only two. He has like two personas. They need to move? Maybe, No, let's move this down. Maybe the consequences of reaction is the fighting. Yeah, I feel better about that. Okay, so the turning point is Sophie's trying to defend Howl. Solomon says Sophie loves Howl. Howl makes them a new, bigger home. I forgot to mention that she brings the Witch of the Waste flee together with Witch of the Waste. And he, I don't know how you spell his name. The adorable dog with the chicken feet, that's what I'll call him. And then, so Howl makes them a new bigger home. Sophie is taking care of the Witch of the Waste. I don't know if that's dedication to anything in particular here other than Sophie being nice. Makes Sophie a flower shop. We technically are back at Sophie's old home where her hat shop was. Calm before the storm. Pressure. Plot twist. Darkest moment. Oh god. Okay. Solomon trying to find Howl. Witch of the Waste smokes a cigar that ends up being like some sort of tracking smoke, I think. Bombs start falling in the town, so like the war is pretty much in the sky happening. Calcifer is protecting the home. Witch of the Waste feeds him a peeper? A spying thingy that makes him sick. Need to move the castle away from the hat / flower shop. That seems like a lot of things, but whatever. That's how I'm remembering it. Flower shop because Howl is trying to protect the shop and she's worried he's gonna die. Give Calcifer her hair as a sacrifice for him to detach the castle. Then I think this is what leads to the plot twist. Witch of the Waste realizes, and I haven't mentioned this before, realizes Calcifer is or has Howl's heart. Or is Howl's heart? I'm not sure. Witch of the Waste realizes Calcifer has Howl's heart. Takes Calcifer out of the hearth. Which leads to the darkest moment. All hope is lost. Witch of the Waste. Witch of the Waste. Witch of the Haste is on fire. Sophie pours a bucket of water on her and Calcifer. Castle breaks apart. Sophie and him fall. Howl doesn't know that they aren't attached to the hat shop. Maybe this could go here. Sure. Power within. Sophie panics, thinks she killed Howl and Calcifer. Realizes her ring that points to Calcifer is pointing to broken door of the castle. The door led to a few different places and we never saw where one of them went. But this is where it leads. She jumps into the darkness. I think that's where she's getting the power within to like go where she's never been before here by herself. She's got him. sees Howl as a boy catching a falling star, which looks like Calcifer. Sophie tells him to find her in the future, which someone pointed out to me, or the internet pointed out to me recently, that the first thing Howl says to her when he saves her from the soldiers in the inciting incident in Act 1 is something like, "There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you." Oh, so good. So Sophie returns to real world. Oh, Howl is there. I was gonna say, how did she get back to everyone else with the rest of, just the legs of the castle are pretty much still going on one platform. Sophie returns to real world. Howl is there in huge scary bird form. We haven't touched on that. He's kind of been changing. Asks him to take her to the others, or Calcifer, really. Converge, coming together for the finale. Is there a final battle? I don't think there is. I'm honestly not sure. Howl collapses. Sophie. Okay, well, Howl brings her. Yeah, that happens. Then collapses. Final battle might be talking the Witch of the Waste into giving her Howl's heart. Puts Calcifer into Howl's chest. Calcifer is free. Howl is okay. You know what? This... I forgot something important here. She goes inside. She makes a deal with Calcifer about helping him get his freedom, which obviously plays into what happens here that I kind of forgot to mention. Resolution. See castle rebuilt. Howl and Sophie. Oh, when did Sophie get young again? Sophie gets young. I don't know exactly when. It might be during the darkest moment. I'm trying to think. I think she might be young again there. Doesn't really matter. At some point she's herself again. And we do see her occasionally be young throughout the movie, which is really fun to pay attention to. And Howl sees her briefly as young again, so he knows that she's cursed and just can't talk about it. Resolution. Happy. Oh, you know what? Howl is okay. Turnip Head saves them when the castle falls apart again, and he changes into a prince, which has been missing and is the reason behind the war, sort of, or has the power to kind of say we should stop the war. See Marco. Is the Witch of the Waste still with them? See Marco Heem shows Solomon what happened, and she plans to tell the king to stop the war. She calls him a little traitor. She's not really redeemed, which is interesting. It seems like she almost just wanted to get back at Howl, who was one of her favorite students, and kind of left her. How do we think this went? I wrote too much. I still don't know. Reminders of the old world. Her mom visits here. Mom does a favor for Solomon. She kind of blackmailed into it, for sure. You know what? We probably see Sophie young again at some point here. And we're reminded that, like, she's actually not this old lady that we've been following. I think that's probably it. But I'd love to get some feedback from you. Did I miss anything? If you've seen this movie, did I miss anything in the plot? Did I mess up anything? I am still learning about plot structure. That is the point of these videos, really. I'm doing them for me, and, and then I'm recording them for you. But I really want to continue to take stories that I'm familiar with and see if I can figure out how they were plotted. Just to kind of cement different story structures into my head. I think that that would be great if I could just remember all the plot beats off the top of my head. But for now, I still use this Google Doc of plot structures, which I will have linked in the description somewhere if you're curious to see them and their original sources or original formats. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye!